Hi Curlfriends, NaturallyRonda here. So today is wash day and I did this wash and go using the OG Curl Enhancing Smoothie from Shea Moisture and the Wetline Xtreme Gel. Now, I've used both of these products before, but I've never used them together. And I really love these results. So if you would like to see how I achieved this juicy, shiny, defined wash and go, please keep watching. Here we go. So I've already cleansed my hair. I use the OGX coconut shampoo and conditioner, and I've deep conditioned my hair already with the Shea Moisture raw shea butter deep treatment mask. So that's already done, and my hair is pretty detangled for the most part. So let's just get into this wash and go. I like to section my hair. First, I split it in half, and then I split it in fours. They're not really even fours, but it's just in four sections still, so it's fine. It doesn't have to be perfectly even. Don't know if you got a girl. Don't mean no disrespect, but thoughts of you rule my world. I even dream of you, I swear. Visions of you and I. Okay, so now that that's sectioned off, I'm starting with this first section here. Okay. So I know some girls, they really subscribe to the curly girl method, and they'll do maybe the lock method, which is leave-in oil and then your cream, or log, which would be your leave-in oil and your gel. I don't really do that. I'm just fixing my sections right now, but it depends on what products I feel like using, what mood I'm in. That'll determine what method I use for my wash and go, because sometimes I do one product wash and goes, and you know, those work out for me. I don't need to have a whole bunch of layers of products. Sometimes I do like to layer products, like today I will be layering, but I don't always do that. So you do what you want, you do what you feel works best for you and your hair. But me personally, I don't always need to layer my products. But like I said, today I am, so my hair is sectioned off. I'm gonna go in with my leave-in, and I'm very generous with my products. Sometimes too generous, and that's when you have issues, but you just gotta know how to fix them. But I just am very heavy-handed, so I'm gonna go in with about this amount. I don't know if you can see it. Kind of, I don't know, but maybe a quarter size amount for this front section here. And there are many techniques for applying products for wash and goes. Some people, they shingle. Some people, they do the praying hands method. Some people, they like to rake it through and smooth. I like to rake and smooth. I guess it's a combination of the rake, smooth, and the praying hands. Rarely do I shingle, even though I know that that's the way that you get the best definition, but I be lazy, y'all. But so I put a generous amount just over top, and then I like to split this section a little smaller. Ooh, Let me do it from here. To make sure that I really got the product in. Going in without this, about this much. Okay. Be mindful not to neglect your roots. Make sure it gets on the entire length of your hair. You don't want to neglect the roots or the ends. And so I'm just going to continue doing this until I feel like my hair is coated generously. And then I'll come back. And so sometimes I will do the leave-in and then go right to the gel, and sometimes I'll put the leave-in all over my whole head and then section it off and to do the gel, which is what I'm going to do today. I think that when I do it in steps, I can ensure that I'm getting an even amount of product throughout my head, opposed to doing the leave-in on one section, then the gel in that same section, and then moving on like that. Okay, so I'm just gonna speed this part up. Okay, I'm back because sometimes I like to use a tool to help distribute the product more evenly. So I'm using my Denman brush, and it also encourages curl, but you want to be careful with the Denman brush. You don't want to be too rough, or any tool really. You don't want to be too rough and just rake it through your hair and just drag it through, because you can get a lot of breakage that way. So I start at the end and gently work my way up to evenly distribute the product. Okay, so the leave-in is all in. My hair feels super moisturized, super soft, and now it's time to move on to the styler. You want to be careful with your styler. You want to be thorough, but you don't want to be too heavy-handed, because that can lead to flaking. Okay, so I'm gonna start in the back and do the 2 back sections and then work my way to the front. But just like with the leave-in, I like to subsection my stylers. So here we go, my first little subsection. I think that's a good enough amount. And you can see as you're going along, if you feel like you're not really getting the product to get on all of your strands, or if it's taking you too long to get the product on all of your strands, then maybe you should use smaller sections. And you want to get it from root to ends. Right now I'm just smoothing, and then I start to, oop, there goes a knot, all right. I like to then finger rake it through some. Sometimes I'll go in with the Denman brush after, and that's turning a little white. Sometimes I'll go in with the I noticed the leave-in was starting to get a little white in my hair, so I remembered that I did not spray it down. For most products, it's best to apply them on soaking wet hair. Some products damp, but for most, in my experience, soaking wet is ideal to get the best results. So there we go. That even feels a lot better. There we go. And you see the wet line is already starting to clump my curls. And I am going to just keep on trucking along. More than just a silly crush. And I wonder if you even notice me now. You gotta feel me. And I wonder if you even notice me now. You gotta feel me. And just wanna be your girl. 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 I wonder if you even notice me now. You gotta feel me. Well, you don't even notice me now. Just wanna be your girl. Don't know if you got a girl. Don't mean no disrespect, but thoughts of you rule my world. I even dream of you, I swear. Visions of you and I just wanna be your girl. See you all around my way. Been meaning to say hi, but I'm just way too shy. I gotta make you see this is more than just a silly crush. Than just a silly crush. Wonder if you even notice me now. You gotta feel me. I wonder. You gotta feel me. I wanna love you. Just wanna be your girl. I wanna love you. Just wanna be your girl. So now I just like to put a little more on the top, just a little more on the top to kind of really make sure the top is getting enough gel. And then sometimes I'll flip my hair over and do the same thing in my kitchen. For those of you that don't know, the kitchen is the nape of the neck. But let me get a little bit more, and here I go. And this is just scrunching the curl onto the last step before drying. I like to just put a little of a spray oil over top. Today I'm using this Coconut Shine Regenerative Dry Oil, and this is from Originals. It came in, I think this was my May curl box. But I really like this. As you can see, I'm halfway through it. It smells really good. And I just put it over top. I spray a nice amount. And this helps with shine. It helps just give more moisture. And I love it. Okay, that's good enough for now. So now the drying process. There are several ways to dry your hair. I used to air dry. I really don't air dry anymore just because I have so much hair and my hair is low porosity, so it takes so much longer to dry, and it's thick, and it's just, I don't have time for all that. So once in a while I'll use a diffuser. I have the diffuser attachment on my blow dryer, and then I'll use that to blow dry my hair. But if you're someone who diffuses, just a bit of advice, I would typically wait maybe the first 20-30 minutes and air dry that way. And then after the first 20 to 30 minutes, go in with the diffuser. You don't want to go in right away when your hair is this wet with the diffuser. But I'm not going to do that either. Lately, what I've been doing is I've been sitting under my hooded dryer. I sit under there for maybe 45 minutes to an hour, and typically I put it on medium heat for about 45 minutes to an hour, and it really does dry my hair a lot faster. So then after, like I said, the first 45 minutes to an hour, I'll check to see. Most of the time the inside isn't completely dry yet, but that's fine. That's enough for me to be able to leave the house, go do something, go on about my business. Now in the winter time though, I would stay under the dryer for longer because I wouldn't want to go outside with wet hair in the winter time. So that's what I'm going to go do. I'm going to get myself something to eat and sit under the dryer. So I'll be back soon. Okay, so I'm back. I was under the dryer for about an hour or so, and I would say that my hair is about 80% dry right now. And I was just getting tired of sitting under there. I could have stayed under there longer till it was 100%, but this is good enough for the video. So my hair feels really good. I think it looks really good. I think it's shiny and defined. The curls are nice and juicy, and there is a slight cast, and I can just use some oil later on once it's completely dry to just scrunch the crunch out. And for those of you who don't know, scrunching the crunch is basically when you take some oil or a serum and you scrunch your hair up like this, you know, and you scrunch it around. Different people use different techniques to do that, but it's all meaning that you're breaking that cast that can sometimes come from gel and cream stylers. But I don't mind doing that. I don't mind the cast. I don't mind weighing my hair down with the product and then getting the definition, because to me a cast means it's gonna hold, meaning I'm gonna get multiple days out of my wash and go, which is what I love. So I just want to give y'all a quick, I'm trying to do a 360 here so you can see full results. And again, this is with the Shea Moisture Curl Enhancing Smoothie and the Wetline Xtreme Gel. So I love this wash and go. I'm very pleased, and I can't wait to do it again. This is my first time doing this combination, but with Wetline, it's so many leave-ins work with this, and this gel is like $3, $3.99. You can't beat that. You really can't. I know some people, they have their issues with Wetline. Some people don't like it. Some people don't like the ingredients, or some people aren't fans of that cast. But I always say you do what works for you and what works for your hair. But I love this. So I'm just gonna continue to dry my hair. I'm gonna air dry the rest of it. And like I said, it's about 80% dry, so that shouldn't take too long. And that's about it. Thank you for joining me today. Bye.